Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Here I'm going to quickly show you how to install the Rapid7 VM Console on Azure. And I have done another video on how to install Nessus on Azure and how to start using Nessus to scan your cloud resources. This would be a similar. If you want to take a look at that one, you can also do that. Nessus gives you a 16 IP free license that you can use for your own scanning. With Rapid, I don't see any free like a community edition, but you do get a free trial that you can use for a certain number of days and get familiar with the product. So to follow this lab with me, you do need a Microsoft Azure account. If you do not have one, just get a free account from Microsoft and you should be good. Just log in. I'm logged into my free account, Azure account. And what I want to do over here, and there are many ways to get to the marketplace, but I really want to go over here and search for Rapid7. Okay, Rapid7. Once I click that one, you see that Rapid7 VM Console is already available over here. Now just make sure that you are selecting the VM Console. I see there are three different products. One is the Rapid Recovery Code VM. I haven't used that one yet. The VM scan engine is something, if you need multiple engines, you will have to use that product and install it. And if you have a distributed assets all over the world, you want the engine as close possible to your assets, so you'd be using that. But all the engines, they really talk to the console, where you have the dashboard where you collect all the information and analyze. And with the Rapid7 VM Console, you get one VM scan engine installed by default. So although we're going to use this product, okay, you are going to get a VM scan engine with this, and it also will install the Postgres SQL where you're going to store all the information. So you can quickly read about the product and what it does. It's a very well-known product. You can use this for the vulnerability management, and it's called Nexpose and InsightVM. For your purpose or our purpose for now, just consider these to be the same thing, Nexpose and the InsightVM. It reduces your organization's risk by dynamically collecting and analyzing risk across vulnerabilities, configurations, and controls from the endpoint to the cloud. And if you want more information, just a whole bunch of links in here. You can click over there, go to this particular page where you have a lot more information about the InsightVM and some introductory videos which are very good. And the main features are listed kind of over here. Lightweight endpoint agent, you can use the agents, although what we are installing is not an agent. Real risk prioritization, cloud and virtual infrastructure assessment, container security. A lot of people, they're now going microservices, and container security is becoming more and more important. Goals and SLA policy assessment, automated containment, easy to use RESTful API, which is always useful. Integrated threat feed, another important feature. Live dashboard. So a lot of features are in there, so I would highly recommend, if you are in the vulnerability space, get it and try it out. All right, so let's go back over here. Requirements, not a whole lot of requirements. You just need a licensed InsightVM or Nexpose console. So when we install it, if you want to try it, it will ask you to provide a license code, and you can request online for one, and we'll show you how to do that. You need some assets, of course, in your virtual network to scan, and you need to allow the ingress port 40815 from the scan engine so that your console is getting all the data that it needs. Okay. For the hardware requirement, this is important. Not for the lab so much, because it's just going to be a lab. I don't have hundreds of assets in here. But if you're really using it for your on-prem environment, where you have all the assets and everything available, there are two different things I want you guys to pay attention to. So the console, they have a different set of requirements, and the engine that has a different set of requirements. If you look at the console, the minimum requirement for either console or engine, they're saying it's a dual core, 8 gigs of memory and 100 gigs of storage. For console, if you have up to 5,000 assets, they're requesting quad core, suggesting and 16 gigs of memory and 1 terabyte of storage. And if you kind of compare to the engine for the similar set of resources, it's saying up to 5,000 assets, you need quad core, so this is still the same. Look at the memory, they're saying you need less memory for the engine than the console, and even for the space, you need less number of space than the console. The reason being, the console has the Postgres database where you will be storing most likely all of this scan data, and so the storage requirement is much more over there, and also the memory is much higher for the console than the engine. So just kind of take a look at it and decide for your on-prem what configuration would be the best. All right, let's come back over here, and for the deployment is very easy. It's like just any Azure deployment, the experience is very similar. You just click on the create button and it will give you this first page, which is very similar. And for like any other resources, you need a resource group, so I'll just call it Rapid7, let's call it vulnerability management. Okay, and that's the resource group that I'm going to use. Virtual machine name Rapid7 console, and the green tick mark says I can use the name. That name is available. You can choose your region. I'm just gonna go with the East US. Availability options I don't need at the moment, so I'm not gonna worry about it. And if you look at it, it's already choosing the right image for me from the marketplace. I don't have to worry about this one either. Spot instance, no. Size, it has suggested one, and if you look at it, it meets the minimum requirement of 4 virtual cores and 8 gigs of memory, so I'm okay with that. For this deployment, you can use SSH public key or the password. I'm going to use the password for this one, and I'm going to come up with a username and password for this host machine. Okay, I got the passwords, and then for everything else, I'm just gonna use the default just to make the deployment as easy as possible. You can define your network, define your things. I usually suggest that you put tags, but for the lab environment, I really don't need a tag either. So now if I click on next, it's going through the final validation, and as soon as the validation is successful, okay, I can hit the create button, and it should create the virtual machine momentarily. And a couple things that I'll point out to you that are important for this deployment, because this is like already pre-configured deployment. A lot of things are already done for you, so you're not like opening up ports where the web application will be running. So the deployment progress at this page can show what is going on. You can also look at the progress from this button right here, the notification bar, and it also shows how the deployment is running over here. And what you can do at this time, you can also go to the resource group and see what are the resources that are being generated. And you can see you already have the disk, network interface card, network security group, an IP address, virtual machine, and a virtual network. So the virtual machine is probably still going on. Its deployment is probably still not done, and that's why it still says deployment in progress. You can also click on here to go to this big detailed page to see what is going on. Okay, as soon as it's done, what you will see like a big button that will show up, and it will tell you, hey, you can now go to the resource, and we will go to the resource at that time. One thing I would say, it's now done, so let's just go there, and you can either click on that button or this button, doesn't matter. So to just click on one of those, and it takes me to the virtual machine, right? It's the Rapid7 console. So one thing that I wanted to let you guys know and pay attention, if you go to the networking, okay, you see there are a couple of rules. These are rules that are specially built for this particular deployment. Okay, for other deployment, these rules are not needed. The SSH rule, a lot of times when you are deploying Azure will ask you, but this is definitely a special rule, and this is, it says the web application and 3780. So in this machine I would expect an application to run on 3780. Now how do I access this application? So you come over here, so this is the IP address. Okay, so just go to overview one more time, and I like to just copy. This is the public IP address, just hit the copy button. So I got it. So I'll go to my browser, I'll use HTTPS and put the IP address, and then I'm gonna connect to 3780 and hit enter. Oh my god, there's nothing running. What's wrong? Now so there is nothing running. It's because the application for the InsightVM, it takes a little bit of time to spin up. So if you are at this point and you deploy and you think, oh my god, there's something wrong that I did. No, you did not. Everything is fine. Just give it 5-7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then come back and refresh this page, and you will have the application available to you, where you will have to go through the initial setup, activate the license, and so on. So what I'll do, I'll pause the video, but I'll go back in here real quick. And so one thing we said, that we know the IP address and how to connect to the console, and we know the application is running on port 3780, and that is obvious from this networking security rule that we have. Now if you want to deploy a couple other virtual machines in this public in this particular VNet, you can, so that you have something to scan. If you're doing it like for testing, I would highly recommend that you do that. Deploy a couple of machines, maybe some Ubuntu, some Windows, some Linux of other flavors, and just test it out. Other thing I wanted to show, this Rapid VM Console, you can install in multiple flavors of machines. This particular marketplace image that I'm using, it's using Ubuntu 18.04. Okay, and it has the agent version. I'm not sure what that is, but it's using a Ubuntu. But you can deploy the Rapid7 console in a Windows machine, in other flavors of Linux, definitely Linux 7. You can probably do a Google search and see what are the supported operating system that this Rapid console supports. Okay, if you have a particular you favor a particular type of operating system, you can definitely use that. But this machine from the marketplace, it uses Linux Ubuntu 18.04. Let me try it one more time, and if it's not here, it's not here yet, so make sure I have IP address right and the port right. So I'm just gonna pause, and I'm just come back in like 5 minutes, and I bet that you will have the application running. So again, if you're here and if you feel that you have done something wrong, there's nothing wrong. The application is starting up, it's booting up, it will be available momentarily. Just have some patience. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and as I promised, if I go to the same link where I went before and we had nothing, if I go there now, you say that you have warning, potential security risk ahead. Don't worry about this one. I'm using Firefox, and this is because I don't have SSL that is registered from like a certificate authority. So all you need to do here is click on advanced, and you just accept the risk and you continue, and that is going to bring you to this Rapid7 page where you will see the security console startup in progress. And this is where you're probably going to end up spending another 5 to 10 minutes. It takes a while to load all of the modules. So first it takes some time to get to the web application up and running. Now when you go there, you see this, and it's 45% loaded. And I'm going to pause the video again. So if you're just watching and doing it yourself, you'll see that this number goes up and up and up, 60%, 70%, and then once it's completely done, it will take you to the login page where you are going to have to know the default username and password. And this is something for default Nix Rapid7 installation. There is a different username, but for whatever reason, for the Azure installation, they have another username and password that I'll tell you what is the default one. It's, you can find it with Google, but I probably spend half an hour to figure out what that password is for the default one. And we'll go from there. So as soon as, just like any other application, you will do the default one, it will ask you to change the password. You will change the password immediately to something more secure, and then you will activate the product, and we'll look inside how it looks like, and then we'll stop the video here. And if you are doing the lab with me, you're welcome to go ahead and do some scan and spend more time with it. So look here, it's already 60% as we speak. So I'm gonna pause the video. As soon as I'm back to the login page, I'll start again. Hey everyone, just to prove that we are making progress, if you notice this one, now it's 77%. Loading the CP dictionary. So there are a whole bunch of modules that's getting loaded, and I expect this should be done pretty soon now. It's been probably about 10 minutes or so that this process is going on. I'm gonna pause again. It looks like this 94%, so that's good. We have 6% more to go, and as soon as I have the console available, I can move to the next phase. It really doesn't stop. It just, once it's done, it will automatically opens up the login page for the initial configuration for this console. There we go. So I didn't even have to pause. So 100% is done. So this is where I want you guys to pay attention and take a note that this username and password is nxadmin, okay, and it's not the Nexpose that you would use other places. So nxadmin, and default initial password is also nxadmin. And you hit on the log on now, it should ask you to change your password. So I'm going to put the nxadmin once again and select a very secure password. Select the same secure password again. All right, and then submit. So at this time you're resetting your password, so your default password is now gone, so you have to re-log in with your most secure password. And once you log in, this is where you have to do your activation for the product before you use it. So pretty much everything is now ready to go, and you see that it had the background, but it then say, hey, sorry, you don't have the license, let's get the license. If you don't have any license at the moment, you can just click on this request one, and it will take you to the page where you can click on the try now and fill out your contact information, and they will send you a license key to yourself, and you can activate. So let me pause and see if the activation key that I got, if I can use it in Azure environment and make it active. So give me a second. So I have entered the activation key in here, and once you do that, it will try to connect over the internet, and it will try to activate the console for me, and it's registering the product most likely, and it's telling me, hey, please wait while we do the activation. So again, be patient. And here I see there's a nice link to a nice article. Investigate the false positive. You can now investigate vulnerability finding as potential false positives directly from your security console. So that's probably something new, and they are sending some notification. If you want to, you can read it while this is going on. I'm just going to close this one, and it usually does not, and it shouldn't take too long to activate a product. So I'm just gonna wait for 10 more seconds. If it doesn't have, I'll have to pause the video. But let's see, 1, 2, no, I'm kidding, I'm not counting. I'm just gonna pause the video, and then as soon as the product is activated, we'll be back. Alright everyone, I actually let it run and came back, and I see this error right here. It says activation failed undefined. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna click on OK and try to log in one more time and see if my activation was successful. And log on. Yeah, seems like I may need to activate another license if you or try it again. So let me try it a couple more times. What you can do at this time, just get your own license and come over here, activate it, and start playing with this interface. Alright everyone, I just had to request for another key. Once I got it, just put it in there. It took probably 5 seconds to get the activation successful message. It says the setting will now refresh. Just hit OK, and let's see. There we go. So I have this page open up, so now I have access to the product, and looks like here I have another pop-up here that says use the Insight platform to understand your risk, activate your security console on the Rapid7 Insight platform to get access to interactive dashboards, remediation planning, endpoint monitoring, and much more. And for some reason it's again says activate now, so I'm just gonna click on it, and it says activate your security console on Rapid7 Insight platform. You need that account to access all of the InsightVM cloud capabilities, and I do not have all of that, so let me just click on that one, and let me fill out this information and see what happens. And over here it also looks like they're also giving us a nice recent CVE that's probably important and you should know about. You can read their analysis. I'm just going to close this window, fill out this information, and then I'll restart. Okay, let me pause it. Alright, I filled out my information, and once I hit next, I got another page where looks like I just gotta go to my email, and there will have information how to activate this security console on this Insight platform. I'm just gonna click on done, and yeah, looks like I can at least look at this console real quick. So here I have a hamburger thing. If I click on this, I have all those different menus that are available to me. Here is my dashboard, complete your activation. So yeah, I haven't done that, so it's asking me to go there. So let me pause that and go back and activate, and then come back. And at this time we can almost close the lab, stop this video. I'm not really planning to do any scanning and show you how to do that, but I wanted to just look at these different menus just a little bit before we close. So just give me 1 second. Alright, so the activation is a little bit more complicated than I expected. So once you go to the email, they will have a activation link. You'll go through, read the terms and condition, you activate the account. Then it will ask you to log into this insight.rapid.com, and they will give you a key, the peering key. Looks like that's what I need to put it in here and then activate. So I want you to see my activation key, so let me just pause it, do that, and restart. Alright, I have entered the key and hit activate, and it says console activation in progress. So I'm hoping this is the end of it. Once I have the activation completely done, I have access to the Rapid console, and I'm ready to perform scanning for vulnerabilities in my environment and be safe and secure. So give me 1 more second so that this is done, and we can take a look at some of this menu and we can say goodbye. Alright, it looks like the activation was successful, and now if I want to deactivate, it looks like I have a deactivate console button also available to me. And let me go back to the home again and see if I can go to different menus at this time. Okay, so yeah, it didn't tell me to do anything else, so let's click on it one more time. So I have, again, this is the dashboard, and I have not performed any scans whatsoever, so I am not expecting to see anything. But I do want this console, confirm your email address, take me there. I'm just gonna close all that, Okay, so this is looks like the default, and there are some errors that had, but these are not really important at this time. I have no assets, but it looks like you can go to this asset button and you can create your assets and stuff like that from here. And there's a little tiny button in here. I think that's what you would be using to create your tags. And yeah, there we go. So all your assets, asset groups, you can do all of that. Let me see what else they have. They have vulnerabilities. Again, I have not run any scan, so I'm not expecting to see anything. But once you do the scan, so those vulnerabilities will show up in here. And also the vulnerabilities with exploitable vulnerability by skill level, you will have a nice diagram there. So there are other things, remediation projects, goals and SLA automation, automated actions, policies is another thing that I'm very much interested in. Policies for CIS, policies from STIG, a bunch of different policies. Here looks like there's no default policies at this time with me, so we got to figure out how to add policies. Looks like there's a button to upload policies. If you have a policy, looks like you can put that in. And ASCAP 1.2 is a very common pattern for the policy development, so we'll have to play with that. So I'll let you guys to play with that and see if you guys can import some policies in there and run some scans. Let me go over here. There's a report. It's good. The report is we have in a separate tab, and then we have looks like there's no report in here. So looks like they have some default format already available to you, so that you can use. So some of them looks pretty nice, and similar to really some other vendors as well. So let's click on that one more time. We have looks like we have container security, and finally cloud configuration, and we have an administration as well. Let's go there. So here you can looks like you can manage users, asset groups, exceptions and override, and scan options, and discovery options, global and console settings. So lots of things in there. So yeah, so in this video my goal is not really to go over everything, but I just wanted to show you how to install it on an Azure environment. So this whole console is really running on my Microsoft Azure environment, and I'm accessing this machine over the internet, and I'm logging in and I'm accessing this particular product. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and leave your valuable comments to make my videos better and better next time. Thank you very much. Have a great day.